Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, I almost said picker, oh my goodness. Check out that channel if you haven't already. This is Commonwealth Flipper, this is home, I guess. Look, I had a topic that I really still want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it today because we had a rash of sales come in and I'm not going to have that much time to talk about it on this particular video. Maybe we'll put it on the next one. I'm excited about that topic. So I decided to pick a slightly different topic that relates to some of these items today. I've had a lot of folks, well, they've always said this, but it seems like it's ramped up lately, that I pick junk, that I waste my time, and that nobody should pick up this stuff and nobody should listen to Commonwealth Picker. That's the Picker channel. The comments are over there. Actually, they're on Facebook too, but whatever. And I thought, you know what? I'll go over this. I've talked about it before. There is definitely a method to my madness, and I don't pick up junk for junk's sake. And I want to explain a few things and use these items here today because there's a lot of items in here that were specifically commented on other platforms that nobody should pick up and you shouldn't listen to me. But I know for a fact that a lot of you out there do almost the exact same method that I do, basically because of where you live. And I want to go over them and talk about something I've been talking about for a long time, but we have a bunch. So 30 sales headed out of here for over $1,200 of junk, apparently. Let's go take a look. It was this item that I'm going to pick up right here that got me thinking about this particular topic. And I want to, and a lot of you, if you've heard this, you know, if you've listened to me before, you've heard me say this stuff, but I want to kind of put it in the context of these people leaving comments. There goes the boxes. I oftentimes get comments on the Commonwealth Picker videos and Flipper for that matter that said, look, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bins of hats and he only sells 4 hats a week or something like that. I'm like, well, sell a few more than that, but I hear you. I mean, I sell hundreds and hundreds of hats a year, and you know, it's a waste of time, whatever. And when I bought this hat was in a giant bag of hats, 2 giant bags of hats actually. And I went through the whole thing, and there was a lot of junk in there. There was a lot of like $5, $6, $8, $10 hats, but then there was 4 that were $15 and over. One of them was a $50 hat. I paid $20 for all the hats. I'm already in the profit, big time actually, because of how I do things. So this hat, the $50 hat sold, so that put us, you know, $20 in the profit right there. This one sold for $22.95 plus shipping. I only listed 4 hats, maybe 5, from that lot. And so I responded to that particular comment, if I remember, or one similar, maybe not that one because it's kind of rude. And they had left a message. They said, oh, I see, you know, leave the good stuff for yourself and sell the rest off on Shop Commons. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. So people have different models, right? Some people only sell hats. So they don't mind having $8 hats plus shipping in that because that's their niche. Some people, and I sold them all off. I sold the rest of the hats off. I think we pulled 3 or 4 for Dibbed It that were kind of cool individual hats that we could get $5, $6 for independently over there. We'd list them for maybe 10 on eBay. And I sold everything off in one giant lot and got like 40 some dollars for the rest of the hats. And that is my model. It's my model. Before I had Shop Commons or before I had whatever, I would still do that. I would have lotted those hats up on eBay and done it. Now I can do it without even making a listing, without even storing them. I just go live over there. Now that might not be everybody's cup of tea. But I know the folks that are over there, there's a few vintage buyers that sell at pop-up shops, and they just sell hats for $5. You know, I have a bin full of $5 hats. So they got them off of me for like 75 cents. I'm perfectly fine with that. The key to what I do is time. And I make sure in my picker videos, I'll say things like, this is where I'm going to sell this is where I'm going to sell this. Because I know there's a lot of eBay sellers out there, most of you, who only sell on eBay, and they're not going to pick up one thing if it doesn't sell on eBay. Even in a lot, they'll part it out, they'll do whatever they got to do. And that's really my eBay method. I don't want to pick up projects. I don't want to pick up things that are going to take too much time or storage for too long. I want to make sure. Now, people can call it junk if you want to, but there is a method, and there's probably a dozen things out of these today that a lot of people like, I would never waste my time on that. Let me tell you, my goal, if you remember from the last video, is to sell $150,000 on eBay, $100,000 on Dibbed It and Shop Commons this year, and I want to do it in under 30 hours a week, and I think I can do it. And listen, I get that hat comment all the time when I pick up hats and videos. And I just think that there's a lot of people out there, especially ones that aren't resellers, that just think, oh, that's just, it's not, you got to clean it, you got to do whatever, what a waste of time. I don't usually clean hats, y'all. I will buy it and sell it at a discount. I'm not going to sit around on it. And it's the same thing with shoes for me. If I can make a quick buck, I'll make it, but it's got to be efficient time-wise. If I got to spend 30 minutes to make $10, I'm not doing it. And I'm glad people won't pick up hats, because I make a lot of money off of hats every year. And yeah, you got to store them. They're not always fast sellers, but they're also not right for everybody. If you live in an area where there's massive grape picking, shoot, there's all kinds of stuff I pick up that I wouldn't pick up if I lived in different areas or I sourced in different methods, but I like the way I do it. How about this thing? I get this with vintage clothing all the time too. People tell me, no, don't do that, or it's dead. They did it with a Funko Pop thing when I made a Funko Pop buy. They're like, you're so stupid for picking up Funko Pops. I'm like, not if you pick up the right ones. We picked up a ton. I have 1, 2, 3 left. And we made good money off of them. Now, a lot of it is junk. Same thing with the VHS, which I sold one of those. Check this thing out, y'all. How cool is that from Arby's? I think sold for $50 plus shipping. If I was really part-time, if I was working a 50, 60 hours a week job every single week, week in, week out, I would be much more selective. Now, I still wasn't terribly selective when I was teaching 40 hours a week, because I would put in another 30 hours after that. It's like, it didn't bother me. But if I had like 10 hours a week or 5 hours a week, I would be extremely selective, around here even. But there is a huge benefit if you're already out at yard sales, not just to pick up an item like this, which is an awesome one, by the way, this Vornado fan. It has been here for a long, long time, y'all, long time. And it's been on sale a few times, and it's off sale, and it's sold off sale, which is really cool. I want to say $125 for this one. Let me look. Yep, $125 for that fan, plus shipping. So when I'm out there at garage sales, because that's where I source 90% of the stuff I buy, when I'm out there, I want to find that second or third item. I usually go for an item that I really want, and then what I'll do is I'll make an offer or something, and they'll be like, no. I'm like, oh, how about throw this in, and it's a $10 item, right? So I essentially get it for free. But I make sure that item is like a 5-minute item, because I might only make $8 on it or $7 on it. So it has to be a 5-minute item, so I can bump that price up. If you do that at almost every garage sale, you're going to end up making an extra $100 or $200 out on a Saturday and putting in an hour or two more work. Definitely worth it for me. The biggest thing for me, even bigger than sell-through rate, is how much time do I need to put into that item? Now, sell-through rate is going to become more important if I'm out of space, and then I have a different strategy for that. Y'all, when I saw that fan sell and then this item sold the very same day, I'm like, this is going to be a good day. Because they literally are two of the oldest items in my store. And I bundled this one up right here. This was a bundle deal. I bought a Singer sewing machine and got them to, and they had a separate price on all this stuff, got them to put it in the bundle. And I'm like, sweet. But this thing, I decided, time-wise, I wasn't going to go independently sell these off. And you know me, I love to part things out. But I usually part things out when it will help sell-through rate on low sell-through rate items. This one, I thought I could get away with selling all these pieces together and getting a good price for it, but it took forever. I wouldn't have done that again. I would have picked off the 2 or 3 best pieces and then really lowballed the heck out of the rest of them and sold them off super cheap. But you know what? We still did good. This is all pure profit at this point because I sold the sewing machine. This sold for $69.95 plus shipping. Hey y'all, I am out in the other shed here because an item out here sold. It's a bit of a mess out here. We've been doing some work, getting some listings up. Check out that dark crystal. I bought that for myself. All right, let me get my ladder because it is up here. Check this thing out. This is, I don't even know what the heck it is, y'all. A crane, a phoenix, a swan, I don't know. But it's cool. Kind of Murano style right there. I don't want to break it. That thing was a good buy right there. $54.95 plus shipping. Dogs are here. Don't knock this out of my hand. You like that? You scared of it? No, not scared of it. You know, I just sold this pretty cool little, I'm gonna have to package it up, of course, but pretty cool little sale. You know, it just got me thinking earlier today. I was doing t-shirts on Dibdit, and if you have the discipline to do this right, for me, I do anyways. I bought like, it was $50 worth of merchandise, $50, and we sold them for $270. I think $270 plus shipping over there, and over there on this. You know, it's not a whole ton of money for 50 items. Would you do that on eBay? Heck no, no chance. But for me, you know, buying those shirts, I would, instead of taking the time to find out exactly which ones were good, and a lot of them I know, just buy them all if they're $1 a piece, and then pick the ones you can get $20, $30 for, and then sell the rest for $4, $5, $6 over there live. Somebody can wear them, somebody have fun with them, whatever it is they want to do with them, and it works. And so far it's been working. I'm sorry if some people are offended by that. It's not everybody's model. That's kind of the point. And, you know, I'm not saying, hey, pick this shirt up for $1 and list it for $5 on eBay. I say exactly the opposite. And a lot of times I say it specifically in the video because I don't want to lead new resellers astray. You're so patiently waiting and you gave up. This is a Skeletor right here. And this is, it's definitely a more modern one, but it's not like really recent. I can't remember. I want to say it's early 2000s, but I can't even find it. At any rate, I saw this one for $1 at sale. My dad actually saw it. He pointed it out, and I went over there. I'm like, oh, that's not a bad one. And I went for $32. What did it go for? $38.95 plus shipping. So I guess I'd say to the new resellers and you old timers out there, what are you eating? Got styrofoam. All right, back to the story. I think I would say to folks, and correct me if I'm wrong, you OGs out there, you old-time resellers out there, I think the suggestion I would give to newer resellers would be, figure out what your model is going to be. You can make adjustments along the way and tweak your model if you don't like something, but figure out what it's going to be, and then watch somebody do it who's doing your type of model. But I actually would say this, after you've got a pretty good grasp of what your model is going to be and what you're doing and the space involved and the sell-through rate involved, start watching people who don't do your model. That's where you're going to gain the little bits and pieces of information and knowledge to put them into your model. Like this. I never used to sell glass. I never did any of that. I never sell jewelry like 15 years ago until I started to learn jewelry. And it was those other little pieces that allowed me to get those winners. You know, like, well, I don't know. I probably would have picked this up anyways. But vintage clothing and hats and stuff. I learned that stuff along the way. And it wasn't just go out and search something up on your phone. You start to just have a feel for it. And so don't just watch the folks who do it the way you do and pick what you pick. Watch the folks who pick a little bit different and add a piece of what they're doing. You know, Dave, I talk about this criticism to me. That's one benefit of being friends with Dave. Dave really buys what, you know, they buy junk. Dave, he knows what he's doing. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. But he makes an awful lot of money reselling. And he makes fun of himself, so perpetuates that idea. But he has a model, and he knows exactly what he's doing. I had to go back here and get a ladder because I sold something up there. But there's also, and I've talked about this before, there's a couple little tricks that I use that really helps me, it sounds dumb, buy what a lot of people would think is trash, a low sell-through rate item that a lot of people just don't want to pick up and don't want to deal with, and that's perfectly okay. But I use a few little tricks in order to still pick those things up and make money off of them and not let it bog down my store and not let it affect the bottom line. I know that seems a little crazy, but a lot of items in here are low sell-through rate items, kind of home good kind of stuff. A lot of items in here can be slow sell-through rate items. This is Tupperware. One of the tricks I use is the way I sort my goods. If this bin is full, I'm not picking the stuff up. Same thing here, same thing here. Here's a good example over here if I can find it. And I'm going to pull from here later. This is stuff I love to pick. Vintage cassettes and CD holders and stuff that aren't really high sell-through rate items and not big money. But if that thing's not quite full, I can fit one more in there. But if I have it full, I better get it for free or I'm not going to get it. I got to turn around. I meant to get this ladder. Now, if you have a plethora of stuff out there, you don't need to pick up that stuff. But I just don't have that many sales around here. So I'm going to pick up stuff. I'm going to use my space to judge whether I should or shouldn't. This is an example. I used to pick more of these up and they used to sell. They don't sell much now. So now I only use this space up here for coolers and bowling ball bags because they sell really slow. But I just sold one, so now I'll pick one up. The Sidekick, it's okay. It has a terrible sell-through rate. Doesn't sell for much, but if I see a good color out there, I'll buy it for $1. And that's a good color. It sold on Bonanza, $17.82 plus shipping. Guarantee I didn't pay more than $1 for it because I wouldn't. Here's a great example of one that I get absolutely ripped to shreds about. But if you watch this show, you understand what I'm talking about. It's Tupperware. And, you know, I buy a lot of Tupperware, but I control myself. It's discipline. I'm not going to overfill this bin. It's just not going to happen. And I got to get it dirt cheap. And I sold off a bunch on Shop Commons the other day. I bought a massive amount of Tupperware, and we probably only listed 6, 8, 10 things out of there, and I'll make money on it. And then we sold a giant lot of, well, we did, the other day we did just lids, because they didn't match up anything. We didn't get a lot of money for it, but we sold them off, and somebody's going to sell those lids off because it takes up a tiny bit of space. They've got 50 listings, and they're going to make probably, I don't know, maybe not that much. Yeah, maybe $200-300 off of that lot. They're going to take that time because it fits their model. My model is different. This is a cool one. Picked this one up for $1. Did I pay $1? It was right down the road. And maybe it was $2. I can't remember, but it sold for $24.95. They're the Christmas set. Right there, that was a pretty cool set. $25 plus shipping. Hey, I noticed a coupon here. So Miriam grabbed this and this one right here. So Miriam, thank you. Youngstown, Ohio, I think I saw. So Miriam used code Commonwealth. Thank you, Miriam. I appreciate that. Vintage Fisher Price Plain. A little pilot in the front. $17.95 plus shipping. Next one's right back here. It was inside, but I pulled it yesterday, and I just didn't ship it. I was like, I didn't have to go out to tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Let me say this. Really let the time you have to invest and the space you have to invest and the money you have to invest dictate what you do, what you buy and what you don't buy. Let that dictate the time you have available to you, the storage you have available to you. The ASP is going to be determined by your storage a lot of time. The average sell-through, the sell-through rate is going to be established by the space that you have. And once you hit capacity, you really need to start focusing on that. Discipline's a big deal. You know, I get trashed all the time for quote-unquote lowballing people. It's not lowballing people, and I'm very polite about it. I'm never forceful. I don't pressure people into something. I just simply present a situation where I want it at this price because this is what works for me. If I can get a little cheaper, great. If I can't, that's fine too. Your prerogative, your item. But a lot of it has to do with the items I already have. I'm not going to pay up for an item that is a slow seller that I already have. It's part of the overall discipline of it. I hope people get that. It's hard to if you watch the Picker channel and don't watch the Flipper channel. But it's all part of the big giant equation that fits my model. And I know a lot of you who've been doing this a long time, you force yourself to have that discipline and control in buying. And that is a big, big part of the success of folks who are good resellers. And there's some people who just simply can't control. They cannot pass up the good deal. They just cannot do it. And sometimes you have to pass it up, even if it's a good enough deal to make some money on. If it's not fitting into what you really want to do, you want to accomplish overall, you should pass it up. And I got to be honest, this one surprised the heck out of me. It is a Hanes. This is an old Hanes made in the USA. Look at that. I wouldn't have thought this one. This one, I was surprised it had a decent sell-through rate for similars. I'm like, put it out there. Decent price, $17.95 plus shipping. I think part of it comes from folks who go out and buy things like hats. And they'll see a team, for instance, and they'll be like, oh, I'll buy this. And then it never sells for them. Or you really got to learn a category. It took me a while to learn a category. I learned quite a bit from Chernock and from Tim over the years and Eric OBX and those guys. This was a hat my wife told me when she saw it and she was going to list it. She's like, why did you buy this hat? And it'll be on a Picker video coming up. And I'm like, what? It's a good hat. She's like, no, it's not. Look at these comps. I said, there's a difference. See the silver stitching in it for one. This is an American Needle hat right there. So you can see it's not, I mean, it's clean. It's just not shaped great. American Needle, 100% wool right there. And it's an older hat. This thing is an awesome hat, actually. And it sold for $30. Pretty quick. Did it sell for $30? Yeah, $29.95 plus shipping. So I'm all for people ignoring complete categories, thinking that I pick up junk. Perfectly fine. Some of the stuff I pick up is pretty low end, but I have a plan in mind for it. So, anyway, everybody's got a different way to do things, and you got to find your way. And, you know, being on social media affects me a little bit. Doesn't affect me with price, but some things I pick up where if I wasn't on social media, I would probably never pick them up. And that's just because there are some things when people see it and it matches their personality or something. I got to find this thing. They will end up buying it from me because I'm on social media. And I say that specifically on my picker videos when I pick up things like this banner here. All right, I picked this one up, and, you know, I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot because I'm on social media and I'm like, well, I don't want to pick this up because I don't want to lead people astray. I just say it on the video. I pick up banners a lot. This is a long one. Just because probably half the banners I sell go to viewers. And it's just one of those items that I wouldn't pick up otherwise, but I'm happy to. And that's a cool little Amish one. This one went to Bob. So Bob, I appreciate it. $11.95 plus shipping. I usually don't pay more than $1. I might pay $2 if it's something cool. Praying for you and your family. Many blessings from God in 2025. Bob, Lincoln Land Picker. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. So really my model is just how much money can you make in an hour off of an item? And divide that, you know, if it's a 5-minute item, this should be in the back here. This is not a high price item. I got $17.95 for this, paid $2 for it, but I bought multi quantity, which really cuts down the time you put into multiple items. And so $17.95 from 2 plus shipping. Super low time, even if it's a slow sell-through rate item, doesn't take up a lot of space. I think it's the last one we have, so I'll take it. So, you know, I'm not offended when somebody tells me, hey, I love your show, this is what I picked up from you for a hint, or I look at these items now and I never used to, but I'm never picking up that stupid Tupperware. That doesn't bother me a bit. Good for you. Or ashtrays or whatever, or VHS or whatever. Doesn't bother me. What really gets me excited is when somebody says, hey, I picked this up, this purple ab roller, and I got whatever, and I would have never picked it up or whatever. You know, this is something I didn't have to do anything to at all. It was clean. So I was like, all right, let's list it. $10 plus shipping. I'm into it for pennies. So super easy. It's a 5-minute item. I have a lot of really cool items still to come, but I wanted to promo a couple things really quick. One, let's give away some tape. I already pulled it up. The winner was Terry Townley KN7MJ. You won the 4-pack of my go-to tape. My go-to tape. You got to put the number 2 in the comments below. My go-to tape. You'll be entered to win. And if you would send me, Terry, if you'd send me an email, commonwealthpicker@gmail.com, I'll give you the code, give you the link to the right 4-pack, and you'll get that tape for free over there, shipped to you for free as well. Thank you to American Bubble Boy. Thank y'all for using those links. Thanks for using code Commonwealth. Save yourself 5%. Let's give away an 80stees.com t-shirt. Just put your favorite decade below. But make sure you put the word decade in there because that's what I'll use to filter it. Mine, of course, is the 80s, and we'll get you a tee from 80stees.com. And I'll announce the winner a couple episodes for now for that one. Every single episode for the My Go-To tape for like 10 more episodes. So thank you again to Joel. And I'm going to promo something for Dibdit real quick. On the 21st, January 21st, on Dibdit, we are going to sell. I'm not going to say giveaway because I don't want to do all that rigmarole. We are going to sell a Nintendo Switch brand new in the box for $1 free shipping. And if you come over and watch live shows that day, I'll tell all the live sellers over there how you can enter that. And it'll be a posting, and you go and make a $1 offer, and then we'll filter through them all and randomly select one of them. I won't do it. The district folks are going to do it for me. Ivan said he'd do it for me. And so somebody's going to win a brand new Switch on January 21st on Dibdit.com. Win, I guess. Somebody's going to buy it for $1. And I'll do a live show over there that day. Check us out. There's no tricks, anything with that. You would have to go over there and register your financial stuff so you can actually make the purchase for $1. But it is, we're going to do it for $1, free shipping. All right, here we go. So this is the kind of stuff I usually don't pick these up. I usually don't buy them unless they're cool, like that cool color thing. I usually will grab them out of a buyout or something. If they're free, I'll pick them up. Or I buy cassettes in them. And I don't want to, you know, you can't ship that with cassettes in it and call it media mail. So I sell this separately. I'm usually into it for nothing. I bought a whole thing of Rock's cassettes in here. And we're going to throw this away for sure. But, you know, hey, $12.95 plus shipping on that. Case Logic. A lot of the off-brands don't do well. They have a slow sell-through rate. So I control myself in the buying process. Plus they're kind of cool. Who doesn't like Case Logic? Next item didn't take long to sell at all. Some Harley gloves. That kind of stuff just sells pretty quick. Good money too. $34.95. Bought it in a nice little Harley bundle. that we didn't pay too much for, and we're already in the profit. That video should be coming out on Picker 2 soon. Sometimes you got to buy things because you just like them. Knickerbocker Yogi right here. Little piggy bank, 9 inches. And that one sold for not a ton, but still worth it to me. $18, $17.95 plus shipping. This next one's actually a Todd McFarlane. I think I bought this one on Dibdit. I like to, if you remember, I said I'd spend every dime that I made on Dibdit in 2024 back and supporting the folks who are helping us build it. And I did. And more. And boy, it's paying off for them too now. So that's really cool. Todd McFarlane Monsters, $20.95 plus shipping. Hey, we're going back to that hat bin, that junk bin back here. And I pulled this one out. This was actually a $5 hat, but it was new-ish, sort of, I guess. And it's a Mitchell & Ness Redskins hat. Really good. It looks like it's never been worn before, or just barely, and kept the tags in it. You can see it probably has been worn. You see it's got that in it, but it's a little discolored. Anyway, it's still sold. And it sold for $30, $29.95 plus shipping. So that's like almost $75, $72.95, $72.85 worth of hats right there that I'm into for, so oh geez, I don't know. I'm gonna say $6, maybe just a little bit, well, a little bit more than that, $6.50 maybe. Truth be told, I don't even know what the next item is. Should be this one, or where the heck I got it from, but I did. The Witcher, the short stories, Netflix, 2 paperback books, I guess. $19.95 plus shipping. Next item I had been having pretty good success with. This took a little while. I bought it at the 127, paid $5. Oh, wait a minute. Did I buy this there? I might have bought this at a sale not too far from my house now that I think about it. 12 pocket work apron, little tool belt. And it sold for $24.95 plus shipping. Next one I'm going to show you right here as I walk back to get the next item, because these are up here. I sold a couple of posters for $16.80 plus shipping, vintage Disney. And I also sold one more of these. We're down to 3. You remember me saying I hadn't sold these for like a year, and I delisted them and redid the title, redid the price, and now they're selling again. $21.95 plus shipping. Creative Memories, Mickey. All the pages and all the stuff. Creative Memories isn't amazing, but when you get a bundle like I did, I got like 20 of those. They sold like crazy, and then they stopped. I'm like, oh, let's redo this listing. So I'll take it. Here's one I get constantly. People tell me, oh, he's lying to people, VHS and whatever. But first of all, that video where we did that was old. The market definitely has gone down on sealed VHS, but I did do really well on it. This is a sealed American Pie. $20.90 for that one. That surprised me. I think I picked this one up at the Goodwill for 99 cents like 2 years ago. Actually, that VHS was free shipping. $22.70. I think this is the right Polly Pocket. Polly Pockets are awesome to find because you can usually get them fairly cheap. And, you know, they have a decent sales price. The sell-through on some Polly Pockets is pretty slow, though. You gotta be careful. Check those out. This one's over $23.70 plus shipping. And it went to a viewer. And it went to Salvador. Hey there, I forgot to put this on my watch list. Love the show. Hey, hope you don't get offended, but has anyone ever told you look like Rob Dyrdek? All the time. I get this all the time. I look like Rob Dyrdek, and I sound like Woody Harrelson. I guess that's okay. Anyways, Happy New Year to you as well. Here's not one of my best buys of all time, but here's another example, though. A bin that when it gets full, I pulled that out earlier. This is a Disney Cruise Line bag. I thought there were 2 of them in here. I'm going to have to dig for a second. It was on a dollar table at a church sale, I think in Roanoke, Virginia, and I picked them both up, and they didn't have great sell-through, but I'm like, I have 2. I'll just put them out there together. Well, they didn't sell, but they did on 30% off for just under $18 plus shipping. Here's another one from that cassette tape holder bin. So now we have some real space in here. I think this is right because it's 72. Is that BMI? Yeah. And same thing. I bought a case full of cassettes, and I decided, well, shoot, I'm going to sell the case. Bought these down in Florida. Actually, $21.95 for that one plus shipping. That's not going to work. Put it right there. I had a massive buy, Flintstones buy at the Webster Flea Market, and that stuff sold pretty quick. There's still a few things left that I have listed over on Dibdit, but as static listings. But this one's been sitting here, and I see it every once in a while when I walk out of this little hallway. And I always think to myself, I'm going to forget where I put this if it sells. I didn't forget. Flintstones umbrella. I thought this would do better than it did. It finally sold on clearance on 30% off, $17.46 plus shipping for that little Flintstones umbrella. Bought a giant box of these Smurf figures, and we sold a bunch independently, and I sold a huge lot, I think live that day that I bought them, and already put us in the profit for these Smurf figures. And Valentine's Day is not too far away, I guess. And so this is all pure profit at this point. $10.95 for those two, plus shipping. There's another viewer sale. I think that makes 3 out of 30 today, maybe 4. I think somebody else used a code. So, all right, what am I doing? This is a, right here. This one right here. This is what it looks like. We're going to grab one of these. $10.50-ish, something like that. Plus, no, free shipping on these. Right now, that's pretty cheap. They are on sale right now. Every once in a while, I'll put them on sale. So, buyer's note, I'm a longtime subscriber and appreciate all the efforts you and your family put into your channels. Well, I appreciate that. Hey, that goes back to, I'll read the rest of it. What I was saying, I want to do those goals, and I want to do them in 30 hours a week. And that includes this time my wife puts into it and when Jess comes over and helps and stuff. But most of what she does is live selling stuff. So that's what I meant by 30 hours. And I also want to be able to put 30 hours into social media and keep it running on all platforms and grow in different places. So I work about 60 or so hours a week, depending on the week. And right now I'm not, because I'm not sourcing right now. So anyways, always entertaining, informative, and spreading positivity. My first vehicle was a Firebird, so this item was perfect to fit. Perfect fit to show my support. Jennifer, I appreciate that very, very much. This next one was kind of a lucky purchase. I was at a non-estate sale estate sale. In other words, the person who has the estate sale sometimes does house buyouts, clean outs, and stuff, and there's not enough stuff to do in a estate sale. I hear Reagan coming in. And, hey babe, come on in, I'm filming here. And they usually sell their clothing or give first option to a clothing person. And I was there, and I was like, hey, is this stuff for sale? And they're like, no, well, we wait for so-and-so to come in. And they called them up right there on the spot, and they're like, yeah, I can't make it. I'm like, sweet, because I want this. Dale of Norway. And I paid $5 for it. And it sold for $84.95. Plus shipping. All right, I got all 4 of these little munchkins in here. Gosh. Reagan loves that Easter bunny back there.
No.
All right, what do you got?
Amy got a black light.
Amy got a black light. Thank you, Amy, very, very much. We appreciate it. Wait, you can't say your line
Don't
yet.
Forget to get
No, don't say it yet.
I didn't say bye. I just was telling them.
All right, what do you got?
What do you get when you cross a pig and a centipede?
What?
Bacon and legs.
Very good, buddy. All right, thank you, Reagan.
Bye, and don't forget your stickers at CommonwealthStickers.com.
All right, so there you have it. Some people's junk looks like $1,200 to me. Now, I'm not going to make $1,200 off of it, but the way I buy, I'm going to make $650 to $750 off of that junk right there. I'll take it. I love my model. It doesn't have to match yours, and I hope your model works for you. All right, y'all, so tell me one thing down below in the comments that you've learned from somebody who doesn't sell the way you sell. I'm curious. I think that's a great way to learn. I appreciate y'all watching me, my family in this new year. I wish you well. Hope you meet your goals, and I can't wait to see you next time.